7 signs you should leave a man. Have you ever been in a relationship where something doesn't feel quite right, but you're not really sure what it is? Perhaps you've been hanging in there waiting for improvement, but down inside you're wondering whether this is the sort of love you really deserve. Relationships can be complicated, and no one ever wants to break up with someone. However, the price of remaining in the wrong relationship can be your peace, your self-respect, not to mention your future. So in this video, we'll be covering 7 very clear signs that you need to leave a man alone. These aren't haphazard guesses. They're derived from real-life case studies, psychological insights, and facts that true numbers of women have lived. So if you're having doubts about your partner, watch until the end. You'll get clarity on what's worth fighting for and what isn't. Sign number 1, he doesn't respect your boundaries. You're not going to have a healthy relationship without boundaries. When a man continuously disregards your boundaries, be it emotional, physical, or even financial, that's a massive red flag. According to a 2021 study conducted by the Gottman Institute, couples who respected each other's boundaries were 40% more likely to have long-lasting, satisfying relationships than those who didn't. And unfortunately, many women with men who steamroll over their boundaries stay and hope for change. Picture this. You've asked him repeatedly not to share private aspects of your life with others, and he laughs it off and goes on and does it anyway. It's a small thing, but disrespect in small things grows to bigger problems. How can you trust him with the bigger things if you can't respect the little things? Sign number 2. He's always lying or hiding things. Honesty. This is the core of any relationship. Without it, trust crumbles. If he lies or keeps secrets all the time, that would be a red flag not to miss. Consider this. You ask him a simple question, for instance, where he went after work. He offers you a non-answer or quickly shifts the conversation to the weather. Maybe he says he was with friends, but you later discover he was somewhere completely different. The occasional white lie can feel like the foundation of your relationship is cracking. Dishonesty is not merely the realm of big things. It's the little ones, too, that make you question all that he says. For example, if he puts his phone away when you enter the room or refrains from discussing specific themes, it makes for doubt. With time, that doubt can build into mistrust and worry. A 2019 Psych Central survey found that 3/4 of relationships founded on dishonesty did not last longer than 2 years. Why? Because trust is fragile. When you break it, it's hard to fix it. Picture this. You're making plans for a road trip together, but later you learn he made his own plans without telling you. It's not just the trip, it's how little he seems to think of you. In real partnership, both people come out into the open even when it's uncomfortable. If he's vague or dishonest, it might be time to reconsider the relationship. A man who genuinely cares about you won't give you any reason to question him. Sign number 3, he displays controlling or manipulative behavior. Control can masquerade as care or concern in a relationship. It may seem like he's protecting you, but if he does it in a way that restricts your freedom, it's manipulation. He might say, for example, "You really think those friends are good for you?" or critique your outfit choices. "You'd look better in something else." Initially, these comments may appear innocuous, but cumulatively, they can chip away at your self-worth and autonomy. One Psychology Today study found that 60% of women in manipulative unions didn't understand what was being done to them initially. They confused control as love. Telling you who you should talk to or where you should go, for instance, may also feel like he's trying to protect you. Essentially, it's a way to control your choices and cut you off from the world. Let's say you want to do a family weekend, but he guilt trips you with, "So, I'm not your priority?" Or you express interest in a new hobby, and he brushes it aside with, "Why waste time on that?" These insidious tactics can leave you feeling as though you are always at fault. A loving partner builds you up, not tears you down. They don't force you to choose between them and your independence. If you feel trapped or alone in his acts, it's a good time to reflect. You're only supposed to be created in love, not contained in it. Sign number 4, he doesn't respect your time or effort. If you're the only one putting in any time and energy, that's a big indicator he doesn't appreciate you. Consider you're always the one initiating, making plans, rescheduling your availability around his. When did he last shift his plans around for you? If he's always too busy or he's leaving the work of your relationship to you, it's a red flag. Some 48% of women who were underappreciated left their relationships, according to a study in the Journal of Marriage and Family. Why? Because not feeling as though your efforts are reciprocated is a breeding ground for burnout and resentment. It's draining to invest so much and get so little in return. Imagine you plan a special dinner for a milestone over the course of several hours, only for him to cancel at the last moment, saying he forgot about other plans. Or you text him but receive little responses, or worse, no response whatsoever, while you're supposed to be at his beck and call whenever he needs something. Eventually, it begins to feel like you're not a priority. Your time and your energy are looked at as important to someone who is a true partner. They'll compromise with you, showing that you're worth it to them. If you've been doing most of the work in a relationship, it's time to ask yourself, is this what you deserve? Relationships should feel like a two-way street, not a one-way street. Sign number 5, he trivializes what you feel. Being brushed off when you express your emotions can feel excruciating. If you find yourself changing your story while in a conversation with him, questioning your understanding about something that just happened, or he dismisses your interpretations by saying something like, "You're overreacting," or "Don't be so sensitive," this is a clear sign of emotional invalidation. World-famous relationship psychology expert Dr. John Gottman points out that emotional invalidation is among the fiercest predictors of relationship breakdown. Why? Because with no empathy or consideration for one another, couples find it hard to connect on a more emotional level. Now imagine this. You come home after a rough day at work, upset, and unload the details. He dismisses it with, "Why are you making such a big deal out of it?" rather than listen and lend support. These moments may seem small, but they do add up. Over time, they can make you feel unseen, as if your feelings don't count. It doesn't stop at large emotional talks. Even in day-to-day life, if he invalidates your feelings rather than abides by them, that wears down both the trust and attachment in the relationship. For example, you tell him something hurt your feelings, and rather than apologize, he says, "You're imagining things." A loving partner doesn't have to agree with every feeling you have, but that person has to respect and acknowledge them. If he always shuts you down emotionally or makes you feel small for sharing how you feel, that's a signal that he's not serving your emotional needs. Sign number 6, he doesn't encourage your goals and growth. An essential aspect of a healthy relationship is when both partners empower each other. If he belittles your dreams, speaks ill of your ambitions, or gets jealous when you do well, he's dragging you down. A study from Harvard Business School found that couples who actively supported each other's career and personal development were 47% more likely to use the phrase "very happy" to describe their relationship. Consider this. You both talk about one day owning your own business, but when you come to him with an idea, instead of encouraging you, he says, "That's too hard. Why even bother?" A real partner will always lift you up, not drag you down. Sign number 7, you are always walking on eggshells. If you feel anxious about what he might say or do because you said or did something, then that's a sign of an unhealthy dynamic. Love ought to be safe, not a minefield. The clinical psychologist Dr. Ramani Durvaswala explains that anxiety is a common feature of these toxic relationships. Proponents develop anxiety because they're constantly on the lookout for conflict. This creates a vicious cycle leading to self-hatred. You pause before you speak, afraid he will explode over something as innocuous as a remark. You're always measuring your words, never wanting to set him off. That is not love. That is emotional stress. It may be difficult to recognize these signs, but they're crucial. Being in a toxic relationship will not only negatively impact your mental health, but will also steal from you the love and peace you deserve. Here's the truth. A man who truly loves you will respect your limits, will cherish your time, and will encourage your evolution. He'll keep you safe and understood and adored, not dismissed, controlled, or unseen. If any of these signs resonate with you, it's time to start asking yourself some tough questions. Would you want to continue pouring into someone who fails to do the same for you? Or is it time to put yourself first and look for a better, joyful future? Keep in mind that quitting doesn't equate with failure. Quitting is choosing you, and that's a win. If you recognized red flags or gained clarity while watching this video, please leave a comment below to let us know. And by the way, subscribe here for more relationship advice that helps you make the right decision. You're worth good is what you're worth good for.